Shalom, brothers and sisters. Syria blames Israel for Damascus airstrikes. Two Syrian soldiers were injured in the alleged Israeli airstrikes targeting Damascus from the Golan Heights. They say alleged because Israel never confirms anything when they're doing it, because that's just their policy. An airstrike targeted Damascus in Syria late Wednesday night, carrying out attacks against several positions of the Syrian army in the Al-Midan neighborhood of Damascus, injuring two soldiers and causing material damage, the state media reported, citing a military source. Now, a couple of things that are important and why I'm even touching on this, because Israel does this regularly. I think if you're training as an Israeli pilot, one of the first things you're going to do is quickly do a sortie and go and whack Damascus. It's just one of their regulars. The Bible says Damascus will become a ruinous heap in the end of days. Now, if you go Google it, I've done this. In my opinion, it's already a ruinous heap. It's one of the oldest cities on the planet still standing, and it is literally being torn apart. People are living in rubble. And that's before the earthquakes of this year that made things even worse. Now, weapons are consistently being smuggled in by Iran in preparation for what we know as the Gog, Magog, and the Psalm 83 wars that are impending. So all of this is coming against Israel. And Israel also knows this, and they make sure that every time they have intel or any inkling that something from Iran is coming in by cargo plane or boat or smuggled in any other way on the back of a camel, who knows, then they whack them as hard as they can to make sure that those weapons are lost to the cause of fighting Israel. So one of these days, a lot of us pastors and ministers believe, with the stockpiles underneath Damascus hidden away for that day that is coming when they make their move, one of these days somebody in an Israeli airstrike hits one of those stockpiles and that's Damascus gone. The whole thing becomes a ruinous heap. That's one option. Another option is that they become a ruinous heap through a direct strike of a missile. It could be nuclear. There's so many ways that this could go south. So every time Damascus gets hit, then you should remember the Bible is prophesying that Damascus will become a ruinous heap. Now, the other danger that is rearing its head right now, besides the relationship between Iran and Russia and Syria, and all of them are sitting around the table sipping and smoking their hookah pipes together happily, is that Russia has been invited to be heavier in their presence in Syria by Assad. And they've been invited to come in with their military and weapons and everything and make more bases. And Russia agrees to this. It's obviously a great idea, because then you can stage everything easier instead of doing a movement up. When the time comes, you're already in Syria. Now, what happens when they're hitting Damascus and they kill 20 or 30 Russian soldiers? Putin has an excuse. That's besides the hook in the jaw, pulling them in for the riches and the oil and all these things that are constantly being found for Israel. So keep watching Damascus. We are living on the very edge of eternity. God bless and keep looking up. Shalom.